Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Tech and Tesla. So I'm going to install the steering wheel screen from Hansshow. This is their version 2. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. It may be that this comes with GPS. There's CarPlay, which I'm super excited about. Built-in Android apps. You can run Waze off of it, which I really would like to have that. It does have a USB drive on the side, so you can install third-party apps apparently. You can see the battery indicator is actually green, which is nice, instead of the grayed out version on the actual Tesla. It's going to mirror your speed. I believe the color of the car is customizable. Turn signals, everything that you have on your main screen, you pretty much can put here, and you're going to be able to scroll through different options on either side. But it's the CarPlay that I'm super looking forward to. All right, let's take a look at the unboxing. Okay, it comes with the instruction manual. They also have a video on YouTube. I'll put a link to that down below. So we don't have to do a full installation here, but you can look at it. You can look at it there. I will show you some of the installation, and I'll show you any tips or tricks I might have. Okay, here's the screen. I can say the only thing that I don't love, without even having used it, but from the other videos, is that it seems super shiny. So I don't know if somebody's gonna come out with a screen protector to make it a little less shiny. You can see the reflection here. Here's all the connections that you need to make running into the computer in the car. This is the optional camera that you can buy. You mount it under the license plate, and I don't know if it does anything more than just give you a view in front of you. But I purchased all of this myself. Nothing is from the company, so you'll get an honest review here. Here's your GPS module and your other connections. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so the first step of the instructions, they say to disconnect the black terminal on the 12-volt battery. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all taken off. The battery's in here, and this is your black terminal. So we'll loosen, I believe, this nut here. The whole thing should be able to pop off. Eventually, this is all gonna have to come out to do the front camera. But for now, let's just focus on that. That was just a 10mm wrench. This popped right off. You can still hear a fan running, so the car still has some power to it. But the instructions say to take that off and then turn off the power in the screen. So they say turn the power off here also. That appears to have shut most of the car down. Still have a light on here. Still making a little bit of a hum, but the instructions say that's all that's needed right now. I believe the first step is I have to tackle this trim here, then these side pieces, and then this whole thing should come out. And the wires are gonna run down in this channel here. The GPS sticks somewhere around here, I believe. So we need to also take the panel off underneath. All right, down in here, you just have to disconnect the light, and there's also like a speaker over here. I'm gonna have to see if we could work with that on. I think I broke the little plastic clip on it. All right, removing this now just takes a little elbow grease. The 20th hole. If you look in here, not all these holes are real holes. So the first real hole is here. 1, 2. Oh. Okay, to my eye, it seems off. Why does this keep powering on? I'm not touching the brake, and this keeps powering itself on. That's really frustrating. All right, anyway, yeah, I think you guys can see that. It appears to be off to the left. Maybe it's hole number 22? It's got to be centered to this cutout here. I'm gonna go to hole 22. All right, I'm in hole 24 instead of 20, and that's pretty dead center. If I go another hole to the right, it looks like it's too far that way, but that's dead center to the steering wheel, which I think is what it's supposed to be. All right, it's not in the exact position yet because I gotta slide this in, but I gotta double side tape this, and then we're gonna run the wire that it came with down this channel. Now, once you turn the power off, you cannot sit in the seat, even though it says place foot on brake to turn the power back on. That is not the case. Alright, I think it's safe to do the double-sided tape at this point. I don't think we're going to move it from this spot. Because the next step underneath, down below here, is we're going to connect to the computer, and that has to be done within 2 minutes. So that's what everyone has trouble with, is getting that computer OBD connection. Okay, got all the screws installed here. So they call this a non-destructive installation. Nothing is cut or permanent. So it could always be undone, which is nice. It's just a snap closed. All right, so I'm gonna take a minute just to bundle all these wires up, run them along the tray here nicely, and we'll be back for the connection underneath. Okay, so I wrapped up the wires here. I routed them down. I put a couple zip ties on them. and I fed them down through here where they're on this side here. So I'll just zip tie this in here, nice, so nothing gets pulled on. This is the GPS, which gets mounted in here. So I'll just take that off, that tape off. I'll just mount it in here, and then we'll tidy up this wire up here. It's hard to tell if I'm pointing at the right one. The gray one right there. There's a white one here, and then I think that's the one that has to come out. And the thing is, this has to be done in 2 minutes without having a radio lockout. So that needs to come out, go into one end of this plug, and the other end has to go back in there, all within 2 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to record this, but I'll be back once it's done, hopefully. I just wanted to give you guys a first look before I package everything back up underneath, make sure that this was working. And as you can see, CarPlay is working. So CarPlay in a Tesla, very exciting. I have to set all this up. I have to set up the color of the car. It's telling me that the front is open, and you can change your options here to a clock, your PSI, and that's horsepower. Over on this side, you have your settings, which I have to go through. Applications, here's your speed, navigation. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Right, so now it's time to install the front-facing camera. So I'll bring you along for the ride. I guess this will update once I start driving. Yeah, I'll do a whole nother video on this screen and anything I learn about it, and any tips and tricks for setting this up and using it. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we'll pick up at this point where I have everything taken out. And if you want to see how to do that, take a look at the front opening. That's what all this cable is here. Take a look at that video where I show you how to remove all of this. So now I ran a hanger here down, and it comes out over here. And then we'll pick it up over here. We have to run it down in there somewhere. All right, here's the other end of the camera. I just taped it here so I don't lose it. And if we look under here, here's the other end of the camera. And just secure it underneath the license plate holder. Secure it to the license plate holder. A couple screws here and some double-sided tape. The hanger wire through there, and if you look, it comes out in there. You can see it right next to those red wires. All right, so I got the wire up through there, and I ran it here down, zip tying along the way, and here's the connection. So I'm going to tape that up, zip tie these wires up here. So here we are. I did have to adjust the steering wheel and my seat to give me an unobstructed view. If I put this over by my eyes, you can see it is cut off a little bit there on either side of the steering wheel. Okay, the right wheel will cycle between the main screen and the multi-screen here. Move this around to find what you want to click on. Also, if you hold to the right, that'll activate Siri. So holding it, and Siri comes up. Okay, so if we want to go back to the home screen, go here. Now you can use the scroll wheel also to cycle through your options on the left here. So if we go to applications, oh, press to the right to go in. Now this does change your distance, but when you're in autopilot, the right wheel is only for autopilot. So the screen, it becomes touch only at that point. So we can go into Chrome as long as we have Wi-Fi, we can do this. You have a better route here. You have Waze, but I have Waze in CarPlay, so that's not really necessary. I haven't really played with too many of the other apps here. I did install the front camera. So it activates, when you switch it into drive, it activates for 10 seconds. And then it goes away, but you could always turn it on manually. So you can activate Siri wherever you are by holding to the right here.
Please refer to your car's owner's manual for information about the car.
To keep in mind is if you press in on the left, it will mute the audio as opposed to pausing it. All right, there's a lot more to unpack here, but that's it for this video, and we'll go over more of it as I learn more stuff about it. All right, thanks again, and drive safe.